Hey gamers, welcome back to the channel. This is for the new people in the game, well, newer anyway. Um, I did a build to help out people looking for tier 1 best builds. So basically, the best ship in the game, the best all-around ship in the game is going to be the Schooner. And you will get that in the pass once you get halfway through it. If you get 45 smuggler points into it, you should be able to get it. And then you're working to collect all your resources to build it. And once you get it built, you will have the all-around best ship in the game. And I did a build for you guys to help you out in Tier 1. So let's get into it. So the main reason we want to use the Schooner is because of the Fury perk, which increases damage to structures by 50% and it increases weak point damage taken by 30% for 10 seconds. Weak point hits have a 30% chance, or I'm sorry, weapon hits have a 30% chance to trigger Fury on your ship for 15 seconds, boosting broadside weapons damage by 25%, which is huge. While active, broadside hits can trigger a 700 damaging explosion every 3 seconds within a 100-meter blast radius. So, I mean, it's just, talk about explosive. And then you also have volatile, and this is my favorite one. All weapons equipped on the broadsides on this ship will deal 20% explosive damage, decrease explosive weapon reload time by 10%. So, I mean, it's a monster. So that's why we want to run this ship. It blows up everything. Let's go into the build. So weapon-wise, what I wanted to do was make something where if you're short on materials and silver and everything, basically you're obviously just starting out or you're midway through tier 1, stuff like that. Um, these white weapons are very cheap to build and they hit hard. So you want to look for your long gun 5s, which I can't show you where you get the blueprints for them because I already have them and they won't show them to me if we go into the codex. So you just have to go into your codex and hit track and it'll show you where to get them. And they're going to be cheap. You know, it's going to be silver, but it's going to be cheap. And these long gun 5s are just, they're monsters, especially on this ship. Um, So I went with, you can set this up any way you want with these weapons, and also the Bombard 5s, same deal. You know, they're very cheap to build. That's why I put them on here for you guys. Um, and they hit really, really hard, as you can see. So let's get into this with the rolls, and that's another thing too with these white weapons, the rolls. You know, on your purple weapons and your blue weapons and your green weapons, you get three ascensions. On the white weapons, you get 4. So that's another huge perk. So you could set these up in a million different ways for any ship that you want. So I'm running, these come with just piercing. So because this is an explosive ship, you definitely want explosive weapons, obviously, to trigger the perks on it. So we're going with combustion. And then I put firepower here for more damage. And then amplified piercing because we have piercing on the long guns. And then sail ripper, which is a nasty perk. This is eventually going to get nerfed because it is too good, especially in PvP. And that's on the front. And then on the port side, I am running, like I was saying before, the setup on these guns, I have my long gun on front, and then I have a long gun on the side because I like it that way. I like this setup. I kind of stagger them. And then on the starboard side, I have the Bombard 5 and a Bombard 5 in back. So that's how I have my weapon set up. You can set them up any way you want, but that's just the way I like them. So my port side, we are running combustion, firepower, lethal, and sail ripper. So they are pumping out a lot of damage. Now the Bombard 5s hit even harder, and I did a little bit different because I like having a bunch of different static effects going just in case something has a high resistance to something. So I'm running shock on these along with combustion because we need the explosive. And then I also have amplified explosive and second storm. This is a perk, a purple perk that you can only get in the white weapons and in the green weapons. So you can't get them in the purple or the blues. So your Lepics, like everybody runs, you can't get that perk in that, and you can't get them in the purples. So let's go back to that real quick, because this second storm is really awesome. All electric damage dealt by this weapon is also dealt to nearby targets, adds 8.1% damage as electric damage. So basically, it's kind of like the AoE effect on the Sandbuck, where it has that explosion where it reaches out to other ships and puts them ablaze. Well, this does that with electric, and it's really cool. So it also, like it says, adds 8.1% damage as electric damage. So that you don't even need the other shock damage on it because you already have the electric damage built into this anyway. So that saves you a spot if you really wanted to. I just like stacking the shock on it to get a little more damage out of it. So that's what I have on that. And then we go to the rear one, and we have shock, combustion, and I put soul mending on there for some healing, and the second storm. Oh, I had another one with healing on it too. Huh. Interesting. For your auxiliary, I threw the Warhammer on there, but if you don't have a Warhammer, what I would suggest is you could get these mine spring loaders. You can get that in. You're gonna have to use your codex and track it to see where you get it. I cannot remember for the life of me where you get it from, but they are cheap to build also. And those will give you 3 ascensions on them. So you can ascend those and get those ranked up because they're, I mean, by themselves they're not that great, but they still are useful. So you definitely, because they do flooding. So what you want to do is you want to come down, and your first ascension would be the green ascension. So you definitely want to put combustion on it to get that explosive damage perk out of it for the ship. And then after that, it's up to you. I like throwing sometimes soul mending on it and electric and stuff like that. But that's a good little and effective auxiliary for you if you don't have any of the high-end ones. Another good one, obviously, is the Leopold 3 if you can get a hold of that. Excuse me. So, those are the weapons that we are going with. And then the armor, which is in Blackwood right now, which I highly recommend getting, is Buccaneer's Oath. This is the best PvE armor in the game, simply for the fact that it's got good stats on it. They're not the best stats, but they're very good. And then the blood and gold. Destroying a target confers the blood and gold status on your ship, which increases weapon damage and armor by 25% for 30 seconds. So this does kind of stack. So once you kill a ship, you get 30 seconds worth of 25% for your weapons and your armor. If you keep killing ships, it just doesn't stop. It just keeps re-rolling and re-rolling. So you can technically, like if you're doing a hostile or you're doing a plunder or whatever, and you get a lot of ships around you and you're killing ships, you've got 25% non-stop. So it's a great armor. If you can't get a hold of that one, if you don't have enough of those bars that we have now to get it off of Blackwood, the Royal Custodian is decent. I highly recommend getting out of that as fast as you can, but it will sustain you for a little while. Especially, you can get a little Grace 3 spring loader to heal you all the time. and you can get that in the black market, I believe, still. So that is something I would recommend picking up if you have the 8s to do it. But I'm doing this for people that are low on funds, low on materials. I'm trying to do the lowest and the best for what you can do. All these, except for this furniture, beam sports, are in Blackwood. I have to double check to see if the quick igniting powder. I don't think the quick igniting powder is in Blackwood, but these two definitely are, and this one definitely is, and this one definitely is. So the Mark of the Wolf triggers an ablaze on the target, also increases shell shock charge rate by 100%, and shell shock is great even on NPC ships. It does work on NPC ships, and it gives you 100% for 10 seconds, increases fire rate of explosive weapons. That's the main reason why we want it, and increases damage to structures by 5%. So it's a great piece of furniture. Highly recommend getting that. Beam supports, if you can find somebody that you can get them from, definitely get them from. I put them on every one of my ships. It's a great furniture. Increases max hull health by 7%. Increases armor rating of equipped armor by 7%. Breachlock Furnace is another good one. You don't necessarily need it. This is for up close fighting. If you're right on top of each other, you know, it's increases secondary damage dealt by up to 30% the closer you are to the target. Increases charge rate of the shell shock effect. That's why another reason why we have this on here. We're basically running a shell shock build. All those explosive builds up shell shock. So it's a good furniture if you want to put it on there. You don't necessarily have to if you don't want to spend the bars on it, but it's definitely worth putting on the ship. This is the best miner furniture in the game. Decreases reload time of the broadside weapons by 15%, increases secondary damage dealt of broadside weapons by 10%. It's a great furniture. This one, I'm using it to basically help proc this, the Mark of the Wolf, triggering a blaze effect. So I'm using this quick igniting powder to increase charge rate of the ablaze effect, just to trigger my main furniture. Again, this one is not necessary. You're going to build up a lot of ablaze effect just by using the weapons, so you don't really need to worry about it. I just put it on here to bring it up faster and get that shell shock faster. So you can whatever you can afford and whatever you can put on your ship that you have to benefit it, just do that instead. But your main furnitures that you're looking for to put on the ship are the Mark of the Wolf, Ramrod Workshop, and the fusing station, which you can get from the honorless events. And I've got a ton of them. They just at one point I had 11 of them in one day. They just kept dropping. This furniture is, like I said, I put it on every one of my ships. It's a must in any of my builds, but if you don't have it, that's another thing too. You also have to build your ship up. You know, you have to ascend your ship. And starting until you get your ship ascended to, I believe, 4, you only have 5 furniture slots. So guaranteed 3 that I would go with would be Mark of the Wolf, Ramrod Workshop, and the fusing station. Those 3 are basically tailor-made for this ship. But other than that, I mean, obviously, dealer's choice on the cosmetics. So let's go check this thing out. What's this? We got 2 right next to each other, right? Let's go play with them. Well, I was going to do Fangs, but I mean, the Zerja's in the way, so let's go kill him. If we can hit him. Wow. Excuse me.
Bring me the Captelli's head!
You don't scare us! We're gonna kill you!
Now we got Fangs involved. It's alright. Well, the merrier, I suppose.
Your last breath will be salty!
See how fast my guns reload? Getting for fire. It should probably blaze effect.
You have picked up the wrong thing!
Fangs broke our sails. Deal with you in a minute. Actually, fine. Bye-bye. Now with that other player.
Little dog has barked, but your bite...
Our friends will kill you!
See how how the electric just shoots everywhere? It's so great, especially doing the honorless events. You have that big pack of ships at the start. Get that, you hit one ship with that, and it just lights them all up.
Keep it together, filthy dog!
Probably gonna do that in a second here. There's two bosses. Like I said, the weapons choices that I made, it's just for the simple fact that they are cheap to build. You get those four ascensions on them. They hit hard. I mean, they're worth. They're probably the best bang for your buck on the game. They're just great. It definitely gets you rolling. Let's see if I can show you the second storm. Second storm. Look at that. We're gonna take that healer out. This guy's hiding in the back of the room.
had enough yet.
Schooner doesn't have the best haul health in the game, but it is decent. But it is a monster in DPS, and that's why you want it, because it puts it out like nobody's business.
Make them remember us!
Sail Ripper. Ah. Alright, let's go deal with these again.
Claws, sink them.
That was weird. But this thing is fantastic for doing plunders. It hits walls. It's insane hitting walls. Just eats those buildings up, towers.
Echo, shoot!
Another great and gun that's made for the ship is in the pass, and it is the long guns in the pass, the Lang Fortos. I'm sure I'm butchering that, but those long guns, if you have them already, definitely put them on the ship and put them on the broadsides. You definitely want them on the broadsides where the perks are for the ship. They are specifically made for the ship, and they are fantastic.
Try that again and we'll sink you!
If you're looking for more great informational videos and especially stuff pertaining to the helm, like what to do with the helm once you get to that, or if you're already in it and it's the tree you don't know what to do with, go check out Cryptic Gaming in his videos. He's got some great videos on that stuff. This stuff will definitely help you out in all kinds. He's got all kinds of little tricks and stuff for and basically like runs and farming aids and all that stuff for level 1, for tier 1. So definitely check out his stuff if you haven't already. And if you're looking for a great group to game with, check out Banished Souls. It's my Discord. It is a fantastic group of people. Great guys. Fun. We do a bunch of farming events every week to collect, materials, aids, and generally just having fun. So if you want a group to run with, definitely look us up. Finish him off and done with it. There it is. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. If you could, please help with the channel by smashing that like and subscribe buttons. I would appreciate it greatly. And I will catch you in the next one.